Hi, I will be talking about matrix logarithm and how to calculate it. Let's start with the definition of exponential matrix and matrix logarithm. Given a square matrix X belonging to real space of dimension n cross n, the exponential of matrix X is given by the absolute convergent power series e raised to x is equals to identity matrix plus matrix X plus matrix x squared over 2 factorial plus matrix x cubed over 3 factorial and so on. Reciprocally, given a non-singular matrix A belonging to real space of dimension n cross n, any solution of the matrix equation which satisfies e raised to x equals to A is called the logarithm of matrix A. Hence, we can see the matrix logarithm as the inverse function of the matrix exponential. Before coming to matrix logarithm, let's quickly recap exponential coordinate representation of rotation. A common motion encountered in robotics is the rotation of a body about a given axis by some amount. For example, we might wish to describe the rotation of the link of a robot about a fixed axis as shown in this figure. Let omega belonging to real space of dimension 3 be a unit vector which specifies the direction of rotation, and theta belonging to real space be the angle of rotation in radians. Since every rotation of the object corresponds to some rotation matrix belonging to capital SO3, we would like to write R as a function of omega and theta. To motivate our derivation, consider the velocity of a point q attached to the rotating body. If we rotate the body at constant unit velocity about the axis omega, the velocity of the point q may be written as q dot t equals to omega cross q. To eliminate the cross product, we use the matrix notation for omega, and this can be written as matrix omega hat multiplied by q. We can see this is a time invariant linear differential equation which can be integrated to give q at time t equals to e raised to matrix omega hat t multiplied by q at time 0. Here q0 is the initial t equals to 0 position of the point, and e raised to matrix omega t is the matrix exponential. Here e raised to omega hat t equals to identity matrix plus matrix omega hat into t plus matrix omega hat square into t square over 2 factorial and so on. It follows that if we rotate about the axis omega at unit velocity for theta units of time, then the net rotation can be given by r omega theta equals to e raised to omega hat theta. Using substitution for higher powers of omega and series expansion for sine and cosine, we get the Rodriguez formula, which is identity matrix plus sine theta into matrix omega hat plus 1 minus cos theta into matrix omega hat square. So we have shown here e raised to omega hat t multiplied by q has the effect of rotating q about a fixed frame axis omega by an angle theta. Similarly, we can multiply it by the rotation matrices also. Now let's get started with matrix logarithm of rotations. If omega hat theta belonging to real space of dimension 3 represents the exponential coordinates of a rotation matrix R, then the skew symmetric matrix omega hat theta equals to matrix omega hat multiplied by theta is the matrix logarithm of the rotation R. The matrix logarithm is the inverse of the matrix exponential. Just as the matrix exponential integrates the matrix representation of an angular velocity omega hat theta belonging to small SO3 for 1 second to give an orientation R belonging to capital SO3. The matrix logarithm differentiates an orientation R belonging to capital SO3 to find the matrix representation of a constant angular velocity omega hat theta belonging to small SO3, which, if integrated for 1 second, rotates a frame from identity to orientation R. in other words, as we can see here, the matrix exponential takes in omega hat and theta belonging to small SO3 to give the rotation matrix belonging to capital SO3. Conversely, matrix logarithm takes capital R belonging to capital SO3 and gives omega hat and theta belonging to small SO3. The exponential map is surjective onto capital SO3. Given an orientation R belonging to capital SO3, there exists an omega belonging to real space of dimension 3 where the norm of omega equals 1 and theta belonging to real space such that the orientation R equals exponent omega hat theta. The proof is constructive. We equate terms of orientation, the rotation matrix R and exponent omega hat theta and solve the corresponding equations. By way of notation, we have the rotation matrix R, which can be seen at the bottom left of the screen and is given by R11, R12, R13, R21, R22, R23, R31, R32, R33. On the other hand, we expand the Rodriguez formula and multiply the terms in it to obtain the matrix representation given at the bottom right of the screen. So we have omega raised to matrix, we have e raised to matrix omega hat into theta equals the terms shown at the bottom right of the screen. Now we equate the off-diagonal terms of the rotation matrix R and the matrix e raised to omega hat theta we obtained in the last slide, and we get R32 minus R23 equals to 2 omega hat 1 sine theta, R13 minus R31 equals to 2 omega hat 2 sine theta, and R21 minus R12 equals to 2 omega hat 3 sine theta. Now if the angle theta is not equal to 0 or n pi, where n is some integer, we can solve it for omega hat 1, omega hat 2 and omega hat 3 as shown on the right of the screen. If we represent this in skew symmetric matrix form, we get the matrix shown at the bottom of the screen, which equals 1 upon 2 sine theta multiplied by the difference of the rotation matrix and its transpose. The theta here in the sine theta term, we'll calculate it on the next slide. The angle theta can be calculated by equating the sum of diagonal terms in the rotation matrix R and e raised to omega theta. When we do that, we get the trace as the sum of the diagonal elements, that is R11, R22 plus R33, and which is equal to 1 plus 2 cos theta. From this we can calculate our angle theta, which is equal to the inverse of cosine of the trace of rotation matrix minus 1 divided by 2, as can be seen in the equation. So we have obtained the omega and theta from a given rotation matrix. Now we discuss the algorithm for calculating the matrix logarithm and how to solve a question. So first of all, we check if R is equals to identity matrix. If it is so, then our theta is equals to 0 and our omega hat is undefined. If not, we come to step 2, that is if the trace of the rotation matrix equals to minus 1. If that is the case, our theta is equal to pi. In that case, we can set our omega hat to any of the following 3 vectors. That is a feasible solution. We can see that on the next slide. So we can set omega hat equal to any of the following 3 vectors. That is a feasible solution. And it is important to note that if omega hat is a solution, then minus omega hat will also be a solution. If theta is neither equal to 0 nor pi, we can calculate theta using the formula we discussed previously, which is cos inverse of trace minus 1 divided by 2. And once we have this angle theta, we calculate our omega hat, which is 1 over 2 sine theta multiplied by the difference of rotation matrix and its transpose. Now let's see an example question and how to solve it. So what's given to us is that frame 1 starts aligned with frame 0 and then it rotates by an angle about an axis. We have to find the angle theta and the axis omega, given that the rotation matrix R describes the resulting orientation of frame 1 in the coordinates of frame 0. So in this question, we are given the rotation matrix and we have to determine the angle theta by which it rotates about the axis omega. So we have to calculate both omega and theta. There can also be a case where we are given the transformation matrix, but it's the same as rotation matrix, and we can break down the transformation matrix into the rotation matrix and the position vector. So we start with our solution. Our first step is to check if our rotation matrix is equal to identity matrix. As we can see, it's not the case here. So our theta is not equal to 0. We eliminate that possibility. Then we come to the second step, that is to check if the trace, that is the sum of the diagonal elements of the rotation matrix, equals to -1. Since it's not the case here, so since our trace is not equal to -1, we know that our theta is also not equal to pi. Now since we know that our theta is not equal to 0 or pi, we start by calculating our trace, which comes out to be 2.6. We simply take the diagonal elements and sum them. Then we calculate our angle of rotation using the formula we previously discussed, that is theta equals to cos inverse trace -1 over 2. So we just put the value of trace and calculate the angle theta, which comes out to 0.64 radians. Now we have to calculate our axis omega, which we calculate using the formula 1/2 sine theta multiplied by the difference of the rotation matrix and its transpose. So we put the value of theta we just calculated in this formula, and we put the value of the rotation matrix and its transpose. We can see the calculated omega hat matrix as at the top of the screen. So this is the skew symmetric form of the omega matrix, and we compare it with the standard skew symmetric forms to determine our omega 1, omega 2 and omega 3. So by comparing it with the standard form, we get our rotation axis as 0.6, 0.7 and -0.362. Here is the MATLAB code for the calculation, which you can use if you do not want to do numerically intensive calculations. So it's a simple code. I have entered the given rotation matrix, calculated its trace, and then calculated the angle theta by using the formula we discussed. Then I've calculated the transpose of the rotation matrix, and once I have both transpose and the theta angle, I calculate the omega hat matrix. And once I have the omega hat matrix, it's the skew symmetric matrix form, so I compare it with my standard skew symmetric matrix and pull out the values of omega 1, omega 2 and omega 3. That is all for matrix logarithm. Thank you so much.